a huge part of Domino's marketing was about the fact that it would get there quick. And I feel like back in the day, there were always so many jokes about like, that would be like a common thing in like movies where like some kids would order pizza and just be like, that was 31 minutes. And the pizza guy's like, come on, man. That really caught people's imagination, this idea of 30 minutes or less. So I guess by creating a villain, they were getting people to really believe in the 30 minutes or less concept and almost root for the person to get there in 30 minutes. It's almost like gambling a little bit. Where people probably felt like Little Caesars tastes way better, but Domino's, I don't know, might get that free pizza.
I just wonder like how rigid those rules were. I mean, they must have had very specific delivery areas because 30 minutes is fast. I mean,
yeah,
if you're slammed on a Friday night, that's not happening. Even if you're like around the corner.
Well, I guess
there must have been like intense stipulations with that agreement.
They probably had some kind of supercomputer already to know exactly how many pizzas to have in the oven to keep it coming quick. Yeah, actually, that raises a great question, is like, how did that actually play out in practice? You must have had so many tense situations where there's just like a delivery person by themselves in some weird part of town, and they come to the door, and the person is just like,
34 minutes, dude.
Yeah, just like some nut is like, oh, nice try. You didn't make it in 30. And the guy's like, well, I have the receipt right here. I actually made it in 20. And the guy's like, no, sir. No, you didn't. And the guy's like, I can't give you the pizza, sir. And he's like, yanks it out of his hands. That must have happened so much. Well, actually, so Jake, you did deliver for Domino's, which hasn't been discussed much on the show. We've talked many times about your tenure with Papa John's. Were you engaging in any of this 30 minutes or less stuff?
No, I think I want to say this was the year 2000. And I think at that point, the 30 minutes or less was like ancient mythology.
They eliminated it in the 90s.
There'd been too much death and destruction?
Yeah.
It's an impossible standard.
It was tearing the country apart.
1993 lawsuit basically alleged that this policy had caused over 20 fatalities in the 80s.
Oh my God.
What the hell?
Dozens of accidents.
Oh, just because the delivery people were so stressed, they're just driving like crazy?
Yeah. And then what ended the guarantee was that a St. Louis woman sued Domino's and won a $78 million verdict.
Whoa.
She was hit in 1989 by a Domino's driver.
God.
And was awarded almost $79 million.
Jeez, just because they were trying to get there in 30.
Yeah.
I also wonder, this is probably impossible to research. Maybe if anybody's listening who delivered for Domino's in the 30 minutes or less era, we'd love to hear your war stories. Please contact us. Because I also just wonder how it worked. If the delivery people were so stressed that they were just like driving like crazy to get there, does that mean it like came out of their salary or something? Do you think it was something harsh like that?
No way. That's insane. It just goes to show, like, if you put people in a situation, they're like hamsters on a wheel. Why would the driver really care if it's like 35 minutes as opposed to 30?
Maybe it affected their income somehow. Well, they certainly wouldn't get a tip.
They were not charged. The drivers would not be charged if they were late. So that is interesting. I mean, that kind of employer loyalty feels incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure like the manager was like, come on, guys. Like the manager was getting heat from like the regional manager.
Well, and at the
very, like, we got to get those delivery times down. Like, come on, guys, haul balls.
And even if time to haul balls. And even if the driver wasn't charged for the lost pizza, they might still have a nervousness about losing their job if they were late too often. Yeah. I also wonder, like, how often would you be leaving Domino's with one delivery for one address? Often, or you're always trying to get like two or three?
I mean, maybe like half the time it'd be like one address. And then during busy like rushes, you'd have like, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4.
So just imagine without a phone, no maps or anything like that. Your local driver, you probably know the area pretty well, but still you would occasionally be like, this one's on 19 East Hamilton Way. And you're like, I think I know where that is. And you like have to get out like the big map and like look up the name of the street in the appendix. And then imagine you're trying to figure out how to they're like, these two are close together. And you're like in the car trying to figure out which one to go to first. Seems incredibly stressful and difficult. So I guess by imposing this insane standard, it probably did create a corporate culture where they knew they needed to invest in tech. They saw the fallibility of humans. There is something also very militaristic about the imposing this like ticking clock on the food delivery, just like Mark Wahlberg racing through the streets of Kabul. Like, we're on a mission, we only have this amount of time. Yeah, maybe after that lawsuit, they just kind of felt like there was a feeling within the company that's like, one day we will transcend the inefficiencies of flesh and blood.
I remember like at Papa John's, like I just remembering like when we'd leave for delivery, you'd have to like call out like what the time on like how long the order had been in for. So you'd be like, driver out 22 minutes.
Wait, you would just yell it in the store?
Yeah, it was just like a, you know, I mean, there might be like some carry out orders, but like, you know, you'd like yell it in the direction of like the store manager. Driver out 22 minutes.
Did you get into it?
I mean, I would do it.
No, but I'm like, would you actually be like, driver out? Like, or you would just always be kind of like, driver out.
Yeah, probably more the latter. Driver out, man. 20 minutes.
Or her pocket.
Well, that also raises the question, is there a rogue Domino's anywhere that still does the 30 minutes or less thing?
Yeah, if you're in like a tiny town.
Right.
I was just thinking about this, you know, you're talking about it being militaristic and thinking about Jake and, you know, 16-year-old Jake and his fatigues. And just the idea that if maybe it would be cool if Domino's dressed all of their drivers in fatigues. And like when you just saw your pizza get run up to the door. I don't know. It's sort of, I think
Sir,
that'd be
yes,
nice.
Sir. Mr. Koenig, you ordered 2 large, 2 topping.
Go, 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 go.
Fallout.
Actually,
Oh my God.
I think maybe we just cracked a code for a new business idea. Military pizza.
Is that the name of it? Military pizza?
I mean, we could
It's
probably
kind of
come
a
up
better-
with something better.
Better name.
Working title.
Maybe we could hire veterans, although maybe that's actually messed up, to make veterans reenact military procedures. So maybe it is we just hire just like randos. We hire just like the rando people who like are like obsessed with the military but never had the courage to enlist, and they get to dress in military fatigues. They get to have like the face paint. They get to work in teams too. Of course, they deliver it in Jeeps. The boxes are green, and we guarantee it 10 minutes or less.
Yeah, it's not an eco-friendly chain. It is. They consume an enormous amount of resources, making the pizza extremely fast and getting to you extremely fast.
Guys,
And, you know, they don't care about if there's collateral damage. I mean, if they like have to run a red light, they'll do it.
There's a lot of usage of smoke bombs.
guys, this is terrible. Domino's is still doing the 30-minute policy in India.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
Of course they are. Of course.
Indian cities infamously having terrible traffic.
Right. Can you imagine some like rich dude from like the upper castes of India like ordering Domino's?
Wow.
That's so heavy.
This is on their website. Our massive team of store staff starts timing the order as soon as they get off the phone. And then they go into a very specific explanation of how many minutes each step in the process comes. And then they say, next comes the delivery itself. That never takes more than 8 minutes.
Never. What?
Okay, well I mean, you have to have very specific, hemmed in, tight delivery areas.
So maybe there's just an abundance of Domino's.
And it's just seriously
Hold on,
geotagged.
guys, this is insane. The Domino's founder, this is from Bon Appetit magazine,
Yeah.
2011. The Domino's founder opens a military-themed burger joint with camo-wearing
What?
delivery guys.
Oh my God. Whoa, we are tapped into
Hey,
today.
where was this?
I didn't even read the article. I just saw the title and I
Wait,
called
so
you. All right,
the founder being
this is creepy.
Monaghan?
Tom Monaghan, founder of Domino's.
It's called
famous-
Punisher Burgers.
Oh, by the way, famous Catholic cause philanthropist has decided to get back into the delivery food business with a military-themed burger joint called Green, G-Y-R-E-N-E, Green Burger.
Oh
Wait,
my
say
Its
that
God.
main selling point is
GR
G-Y-R-E-N-E.
Green?
What the
G-Y-R-E-N.
hell?
Ky-
Just spell it
Kyrene?
green.
its main selling point is the way they deliver the burgers. Employees wearing military camo ring your doorbell, call you sir and ma'am. This is insane.
This is not real.
Salute after handing off the sack of food.
Mr. Koenig, sir, yes, sir.
And then they run back to their car.
They salute you?
Yes, the delivery people will be called green joggers, Gyrene, and their bosses will be called captains instead of just managers. For the curious or confused, green is a nickname for a Marine, a World War II mashup of GI, itself short for galvanized iron, and Marine. Monaghan accidentally joined the Marines in 1956, intending to sign up with the Army, and he stayed there for a 3-year tour. I mean, that's honestly that's insane.
That chain didn't
didn't happen?
exactly thrive.
It didn't, but that it's the Domino's guy, like the fact that you are, it went.
So they didn't even open one? They opened one. Where was it?
Where?
Michigan?
Monaghan told the National Restaurant News that he was not sure. I like this. I do like. He's like, I'm not sure if the concept will work, but it's being put into test in 2 pilot locations in Southwest Florida. So I guess then maybe another one in Tennessee. It didn't work, but the fact that you could feel the sort of militaristic kind of organized, like that you could feel that in Domino's.
This is going way deeper
wild.
than I thought it would. I thought the Domino's becoming a tech company thing is funny, but like, I think we're barely scratching the surface here. Okay, we're gonna. Hopefully, there's a good book on Domino's.
I feel like that concept could have legs. I feel like burgers are the wrong food for a delivery service because like fries are terrible 5 minutes after they're made.
Yeah,
burgers. You want to eat a burger that's
move around
40 minutes old? Like, but I feel like there is a place in American culture for a militaristic food delivery.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's pizza. Maybe it's like what else is good food?
Shouldn't it be like rations, like survival food, like cans of like just to stay on theme?
Well, that would make sense, but still, people. But it's not. That's not as
beef
exciting
stew.
Because the mission is that you have to get there quickly because this is hot food. It needs
Yeah,
to be
you're
piping
right.
hot.
Sure. Coffee?
I mean, pizza really is like the archetypal, true apex food for delivery. I think
Military pizza. I'm coming back to that name. I think there's something about it. Just military
pizza.
Or,
USSS pie. No.
Oh, it could be cool. We could also like split it up to all branches of the armed forces and have some healthy rivalries in town.
Oh, yeah.
Where, all right, Jake's working late at the studio. He wants a pie. He opens the military pizza app, and the first thing they ask him is, which branch of the military do you want to order from?
Yeah, wait, or do I want to order from Colonel Pepperoni?
or Admiral Olive? You could start a reserves program, 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, just to do a little bit of delivery on the side. But also, maybe there's another version too that's like, this definitely would not play well, but the idea of it not being American military. Maybe it's like Italian. They have that in Italy. I've never fully understood it, but there's 2 different. I'm sure an Italian person would be like, no, you totally have it wrong. But my understanding is that there's these 2 similar type police organizations. There's the police, and then there's the Carabinieri. I think the Carabinieri is like a little bit in between the military and the police, but they both are present in many towns and cities. So it's a little bit unclear to me what their relationship is and what the difference is. But yeah, maybe we could do kind of like an Italian themed military.
Colonel Pepperoni.
Do you know that there's this chain? Where did I see it? I feel like it's out west a little bit, like in Colorado and stuff, called Magic Mushroom Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Small chain.
Seinfeld, give me a little info on Magic Mushroom, just because I feel like this is like the polar opposite.
Okay, so yeah, Magic Mushroom Pizza.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of, is it Mellow Mushroom?
Okay, there is a mellow mushroom as well.
Oh, it's from Atlanta. That's right.
I've eaten many a mellow mushroom.
Oh, yeah, because you used to live in Georgia. That's where I first saw Mellow Mushroom. And I had
That'd be a good
in
band
Atlanta.
name, too.
Mellow
I saw
Mushroom?
Mellow Mushroom.
Oh, totally.
That'd be a great band name.
Yeah, and you could just use their logo.
Oh, hell yeah.
This
wow.
anthropomorphic yellow mushroom eating some pizza. And he's got kind of like a wink, a sly grin. There's 150 mellow mushrooms. So that's decent. That's pretty big.
That's huge. 150. Wow. That's awesome.
Mellow mushroom takes as long as it takes, man. The average delivery trip, depending on how much you order, it could take as long as 8 to 10 hours. Hold tight, buddy.
I mean, if you're in a hurry and looking for efficiency, then order from Colonel Pepperoni. Be my guest. It's going to be, very industrialized and efficient, but I mean, it's not going to satiate any sort of spiritual need.
Mellow mushroom pizza takes time. You got to ride it out. You got to be open-minded. There's also DMT vape pizza. Takes 15 minutes if you're really in a hurry.
And dude, it would be like the CEOs of Colonel Pepperoni and Mellow Mushroom, like both used to work at the other company.
Yeah.
Like the CEO of Colonel Pepperoni started at Mellow
Ex-hippie.
Mushroom and was just like,
Sold
yeah,
out.
man, I started working there in 78. And you know what? I was like, I'd been following the dead for a few years and it seemed like a good fit. But you know what? During the Reagan years, like I started to have a change of heart about things. And I started to see all the things that I thought were virtues of Mellow Mushroom as real liabilities. And then like the guy that runs Mellow Mushroom was like, yeah, I was real high strung as a young man. I mean, I had enlisted and things didn't go the way I thought they might in boot camp. And I had to like just fully abort from that situation. And then
I went AWOL. I like the idea that Colonel Pepperoni, it sounds like a McDonald's character. Like, what's his name? Mayor Cheeseburger?
Mayor McCheese?
Mayor
McCheese,
McCheese, just
yeah.
like a big, cutesy, childish thing. But I like the idea that our Colonel Pepperoni, his backstory is just like way darker. You pictured be like a big pepperoni with a smiley face or something. It's like, no, Colonel Pepperoni is a man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a man. He's played by,
Josh Brolin.
yeah, something like that. I was going to say like, what's that guy's name? Mads Mikkelsen?
Oh, that's a good one, too. Mads Mikkelsen.
He's played by Michael Shannon.
So,
And it's just like
Russell Crowe.
It's just like these really intense pictures of him, and he has like a very realistic military outfit, and his backstory is actually like really dark.
It's like Frank Castle, man. It's like
Yeah.
no joke.
Yeah, the mission-based job is kind of like interesting. It should pay well, and it shouldn't put people at risk. But
Thank you for calling Colonel Pepperoni. This is Jake. How may I help you?